Before we leap into the video, I just want to go ahead and say it right away that this will be a downright spoiler land. So if you have not yet watched the first 3 episodes of Monarch: Legacy of Monsters, you have been warned, my friend. And for those living under a rock, Monarch is a new Apple TV Plus series set in the Monsterverse and definitely the first of its kind. So in the previous episodes, we see how Kate travels to Japan in search of any remnants of her father's life, but instead finds out he had a whole different family in here. She meets her half-brother Kentaro, and together they stumble upon some seriously brain-wrecking mysteries from their father's past. Now this show is almost like a 10-hour-long movie, being released in smaller chunks, and hence deals with frequent flashbacks of the past while showing the ongoing adventures of Kate and Kentaro. Set in a year after the G-Day event when Godzilla wreaked bloody havoc on San Francisco, the show really focuses on the chaos it left on lives across the world. When Kate and Kentaro find a bag of suspicious encrypted audio tapes, they seek a coding expert named May's help. Now May is also Kentaro's ex-girlfriend who reluctantly helps the siblings but ends up alerting the Monarch, the covert government organization in charge of dealing with monsters, while decrypting the tapes. And well, let's just say the goose chase begins. The initial 2 episodes graced us with a screen presence of almost 7 monsters, unlike the latest episode 3 titled as Secrets and Lies, which features just 1 kaiju apart from our recurring favorite Godzilla. But this guy is big, this guy is scary, and this guy is definitely far from anything we've ever seen before. I mean, he makes Demogorgon looks like a puny rat. Anyway, without wasting another moment, let's get right to it. Before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot. Thank you. Let's begin.
We're going now!
Who is the new monster face in Monarch: Legacy of Monsters? Continuing seamlessly from the conclusion of the 2nd episode, the show's narrative unfolds with Lee Shaw guiding Kentaro, Kate and May towards the exit of the retirement home after successfully ditching his ankle monitor. Yep, if you don't remember, Old Man Shaw was held captive in an elaborate fancy prison by the Monarch. Anyway, their stealthy escape is abruptly interrupted by blaring alarms, prompting Lee to master the unfamiliar van with its button ignition. With adrenaline pumping, he forcefully breaches the main entrance gate, propelling the quartet straight out of the Monarch enclosure. As the tension subsides and the group gets to safety aboard a ship, they reflect upon Hiroshi's rather mysterious past, while Kate and Kentaro look through their father's cryptic notes during their journey to South Korea. But when Kate gets to know that Lee and her father were already aware of the existence of colossal creatures like Godzilla, she wasted no time in showing her classic criticism for withholding this crucial information from the public, which she believes could have averted the widespread destruction. Now, even if the show is ridden with mysteries, the most clandestine character as of now is May, who seems really shady sometimes. And this suspicion is further reassured when she makes a rather crisp and secretive phone call with someone, only to dramatically dunk her phone into the ocean just as Kentaro arrives on the scene. To avoid any form of confrontation, May simply goes on to blame Kentaro for losing her business and livelihood because of getting tangled into his drama. Anyway, before reaching their destination, Lee proposes to dump Hiroshi's audio files into the ocean, so their movements cannot be traced by the Monarch in any way. However, Kentaro vehemently objects, recognizing the significance of the information contained within. Given that May already has a copy of those files in her laptop, Kentaro finally acknowledged the potential dangers of carrying the sensitive documents, and with a heavy heart hurled the files into the sea, severing a crucial link to his father in the process. After arriving in Pohang, South Korea, the group encounters an unexpected hurdle as they face passport checks by an unfamiliar official. While being detained, Shaw resorts to bribery until his contact leaps in right on time and rescues the group from this fiasco. Luckily, the Korean military named Duho had an old warplane kept safe aside, just waiting for the group to take them to their next quest to Alaska. On board, Lee divulges more about their their father to Kentaro and Kate, while May successfully pinpoints Hiroshi's intended destination near Barrow, Alaska. When the plane's navigation system malfunctions out of the blue, the Korean pilot thrusts Lee into emergency control in order to avert a potential crash. Well, let's just say that the old man still got his kills because that was one hell of a smooth landing. Soon after they landed, the group found the remnants of Hiroshi's aircraft with an unexpected frozen corpse inside. Fortunately, it was not Hiroshi, but soon Kate and Kentaro saw a tent nearby, only to find a bunk of notes, a desk littered with pencil shavings, and a pair of glasses, all of which was a sign of hope towards their father's survival. However, this relief was really short-lived. When Duho started looking around, he got alarmed by mysterious claw marks on the crashed plane and wasted no time to alert the others. While he tried his best to get into the chopper and restart it for their departure, it was already too late as the kaiju was already alerted. This gigantic malevolent creature is a bizarre amalgamation of an armadillo and an octopus. In seconds, the creature took over the situation and used its icy breath to freeze the entire warplane and immobilize it, while immediately killing Duho within. Before we can even grab a moment to think, the kaiju stomps on the plane, completely wrecking it, and then turns towards the group. The episode ends with Lee, Kentaro, Kate and May left in absolute shock to witness the ominous turn of events as they stand befuddled looking at this behemoth, leaving us at the edge of our seats. What do we know about this new kaiju? So this mind-numbingly creepy and terrifying monster is our Frost Vark. This big bag scary guy was apparently created by taking inspiration from animals like pangolin and star-nosed moles. This quadrupedal entity boasts an imposing appearance with a distinctive array of features. Adorned in layers and angular dermal armor plates, the creature's body, spanning from its head to its elongated tail, emanates an aura of resilience. Plus, the interstitial spaces within the monster's armor houses super thick tufts of hair, further adding a nuanced texture to its super tough exterior. The Frost Vark also has robust feet in the form of gigantic mole-like claws, further enhancing its abnormal prowess. Now, a defining characteristic of the Frost Vark lies in its sensory tendrils, which extend from its snout. These numerous tendrils, each capped with bioluminescent globules in a striking blue hue, contribute to the creature's heightened perception. Plus, its jaws seem to be equipped with a pretty sharp line of jagged fangs. It should also be noted that the creature's eyes are positioned far back on its head and remain mostly concealed beneath its thick plate-like armor, further amplifying its predatory nature. The Frost Vark's vocalizations echo through the environment in deep, bellowing roars, signaling its presence with an unmistakable intensity. And it should be taken into account that this creature exhibits a pronounced and indiscriminate hostility, unleashing unprovoked aggression upon detecting the presence of any objects or organisms above the snow-laden terrain. This particular behavior was clearly witnessed at the end of the episode as it barged out from its subterranean position beneath the snow cover of the Alaskan winter, highlighting the Frost Vark's territorial and confrontational nature. Honestly, this does not seem like a creature anyone should be messing around with. This ice-powered monster can freeze anything in mere seconds. All it has to do is open its mouth to suck in all the air and deplete its victim of heat. Now, I have not exactly worked out the mechanics of it yet, but this new ice titan surely is a lethal threat to all humankind. How does the Frost Vark fit into the Monsterverse? Well, the third episode surely confirms the existence of a titan in Alaska, thus introducing a completely novel addition to the Monsterverse. It should definitely be noted that this creature is a whole new addition and stands completely distinct from the 11 missing titans featured in Godzilla, King of the Monsters. Remember how Dr. Serizawa revealed within the movie that Monarch was pretty much aware of quite a few monsters since Godzilla's discovery in 1954? Well, they also also had monitor screens depicting the locations of each of these creatures with dedicated outposts established to observe them all. Now, intriguingly enough, Monarch missed out on Alaska, so this wintry region actually lacked such an outpost. And this revelation sparks quite the speculation regarding Vark's status, hinting at a transformation in the period between its debut here in Monarch Legacy of Monsters and the events leading up to Godzilla, King of the Monsters. Of course, one plausible scenario definitely suggests the creature's demise before 2019, offering a much more logical explanation for Monarch's absence in Alaska. Anyway, as the narrative unfolds, we are simply left to unravel the mystery surrounding this enigmatic titan, poised to reshape the understanding of the Monsterverse's intricate timeline. Is this ice-powered monster capable of fighting Godzilla? Now, before we jump onto this question, I would like to discuss how this episode showcased the first Godzilla sighting to be recorded by the Monarch. In the past flashbacks of the episode, transporting us back to 1954, Lee, Billy and Keiko find themselves on an airfield awaiting the arrival of a military personnel at the Monarch location. While Keiko and Billy are seemingly skeptical regarding the military's involvement, Shaw subdues all of their concerns, asserting that these soldiers are essential in navigating this uncharted, brave new world. The trio presents the military with a colossal beast's impression left on the Earth and proposes an audacious plan which includes the use of at least 150 pounds of uranium to trace and potentially locate the kaiju responsible. Initially hesitant, the military succumbs to the gravity of the threat implied by the massive footprint, agreeing to support the unconventional endeavor given that it could rise to become a global issue. Subsequently, in the Bikini Atoll beach, the trio grapple with the high stakes of losing military support if a kaiju fails to materialize, coupled with the peril of the beast facing imminent nuclear annihilation if it actually manages to show up. Soon this dilemma was interrupted when a distant roar signaled Godzilla's arrival, as the monster was still submerged beneath the waves. As the armored titan emerged from the sea, everyone, including the trio, stared at its menacing beauty in awe. As Godzilla was drawn to the uranium within the nuclear bomb, the military initiated the countdown for a nuclear detonation, leaving Keiko desperately attempting to avert the impending catastrophe. Despite her futile efforts, the explosion unfolds, and Keiko mourns the perceived loss of Godzilla. Now, maybe she does not know it yet, but us fans familiar with Godzilla's resilience understand otherwise. Now, coming to answer the main question, while Vark poses a significant threat to humans with its out-of-the-box ice powers, the question of its capability against Godzilla remains really uncertain. The latest episode of Monarch Legacy of Monsters concludes with a size comparison, clearly indicating that the Vark would be at a considerable disadvantage in a confrontation with Godzilla, because despite its impressive size, it does fall short in the weight class of titans like Godzilla and Ghidorah, thus underscoring the diverse nature of titans in the Monsterverse. And we must understand that not all titans can be expected to rival the stature of Godzilla and Kong. However, the possibility exists that the Vark might be a juvenile member of its species, akin to Kong from Kong's Skull Island, who was not yet fully grown. If so, a future episode of Monarch Legacy of Monsters or another installment in the Monsterverse could unveil an adult version large enough to pose a credible challenge to Godzilla. But who knows? The possibilities within the Monsterverse are endless as it continues to surprise us with its variety of titans, showcasing that size and power come in diverse forms within its cinematic universe. What do we think might happen in the upcoming episode of Monarch Legacy of Monsters? Given that this episode ended with a massive cliffhanger, I honestly cannot keep any patience for the next. As for what is known in bits and pieces, episode 4 of the series is titled as Parallels and Interiors and is set to build on the momentum of season 1. Anticipated to deliver more heart-pounding kaiju action, this upcoming episode is scheduled for release on Apple TV Plus on Friday, December the 1st, 2023. Hiroshi. Now, I personally think that we will see Hiroshi saving the crew from a very angry and very scary Frost Vark, and eventually lead them to his hidden underground base beneath all the snow. This also means we get some juicy flashbacks into Hiroshi's life, and also not to forget the heartwarming reunion he is going to have with his children and his uncle. It is possible that the siblings will finally have some of their questions answered, as Hiroshi's arrival might lead to him explaining how he ended up in Alaska and survived its snowy terrain with a monster lurking around. Plus, I think we will also find out why he is researching the Frost Vark in the first place. Coming to Monarch, it is possible that given their resources, they might be able to track the group down, and eventually another attack on Hiroshi, Lee, Mei, Kentaro and Kate would drive the siblings to take their father to immediate safety. Lastly, in the 1950s flashbacks, it is safe to assume that Keiko, Bill and Lee discover many more such monsters all across the world, especially after receiving their unlimited funding from the government. So far, Monarch has been on the right track with its juicy interconnected plot of 3 generations, its breathtaking SFX work, and of course its hauntingly beautiful monsters. Now that we have come to the very end of this video, what are your theories about the upcoming episode of the show? Do you think we will finally see a Bigfoot this time? Let us know about your thoughts and opinions in the comment box below. And if you liked our content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already. Have a good one and be safe. Thanks everyone.